I think the current meta in the Pokemon trading card game is incredibly annoying. So I've decided to be the smaller person and try to make the game of Pokemon more annoying for my opponents. That's why we're playing this absolutely devious stall, energy control, energy manipulation deck played by Xander Wojcik at the World Championships this past year. Let's get into it. What is up? Welcome back to the Totodile gang, the most devious gang in all of Pokemon. And if you're new around here, welcome in. It is so nice to have ya. And today we're talking about Xander Wojcik's 139th place finishing stall control box deck that uses everything from Elgyem to Iron Thorns to Cornerstone. It's just, this is an absolute treat to play, and it is very complex. So I'm not going to be able to give you as good of a representation of this deck as Xander might be able to. But we're going to do our darndest. Real quick, if you are not already subscribed, hit that big red button down below to join the Totodile gang officially. It would help me out a ton as a small creator, and I know that over 80% of you guys are not subscribed, so hit that big red button, join the gang, bro. Alright, let's get going on this absolutely diabolical stall deck, and let's start with what I consider to be the heart and soul of this deck, Elgyem. Now, Elgyem from Black Bolt has the absolutely nasty attack Slight Shift, which for 1 psychic energy allows us to move an energy from one of our opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. Now, this is where a good chunk of the energy manipulation comes into play, is through Elgyem and Handheld Fan, which is a tool that when the Pokemon it's attached to is damaged, knocked out, just damaged, has to be damaged by an attack, you get to move an energy from the attacking Pokemon onto one of your opponent's other Pokemon. So our whole thing is just energy manipulation. This comes into play heavily against decks that have specific energy requirements. Stuff like Dragapult. This is mostly for Dragapult. This deck is built to beat Dragapult. It also does help us against decks like Gholdengo, that if we can move enough of their steel energies onto a Pokemon that can't really use it, then we're good, if we can keep them all on the board. Anyways, there's a lot to this deck, but the first part comes with Elgyem and Handheld Fan. Alright, and the next stall Pokemon that we are going to talk about is Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. This has been a favorite of mine in recent weeks because of how many decks have attackers with abilities. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon cannot be damaged by Pokemon with abilities, so certain decks like Gholdengo, your whole game plan is just get your Cornerstone out. And that's like about it. Pretty much same thing with Charizard. Just get your Cornerstone out. We got Prism Energies if you have to attack, but I don't think you're really trying to attack with this deck. Or I guess we're not trying to attack for damage, because we do want to be attacking with Elgyem and Sudowoodo, which is kind of our Snorlax stall replacement in a little way. It has the attack Impound, which does 20 damage, yes, but it also retreat locks your opponent's Pokemon. So, honestly, this works best into Pokemon that do have a weakness resistance, because then Impound just does absolutely nothing. It just retreat locks, which is kind of what we want. We don't really want to be putting damage counters on our opponent's Pokemon most of the time. But Sudowoodo's retreat lock we do want to be doing a lot of the time. So pretty much every deck nowadays has a Pokemon that's just there for support. We need to find that Pokemon and trap them in the active as long as humanly possible. And another stall Pokemon is Iron Thorns. This is one that we really want to start with if we're going up against Charizard or Miraidon or one of these Pokemon, one of these decks that really heavily relies on rule box abilities, because when Iron Thorns is in the active, it shuts off all rule box abilities of all Pokemon on the board. Now this is kind of tough. We're not playing just Thorns, right? So in these matchups, you kind of want to start Thorns and then be a little bit wary of who you bench, because if you do bench other Pokemon, you know that they will have the ability to boss up and KO those Pokemon. So Iron Thorns is really nice for those types of matchups. And then we have Pikachu with the Resolute Heart ability, which makes it so that it cannot be one-hit KO'd as long as there are no damage counters on it previously. Now this is so great for decks where you're struggling a little bit, but you have access to your pennies. Because if you can put this into your active, slap a handheld fan on it, right? Your opponent can hit into it for however much damage they would like. It'll survive as long as it's not previously damaged. Then we can penny, push up a Dunsparce, put Pikachu back down with the handheld fan after moving one of those attacking energies off. We can do that, and then we can just kind of Dunsparce, then go right back into Pikachu, and then boom, once again, they cannot take a one-hit KO. That's kind of our whole goal here, is just slow down your opponent as much as possible. So Pikachu's here to just be there and then be pennied most of the time. And as I mentioned, we do run Dunsparce as the draw engine. Pair that with an enriching energy, and you will have more cards in your hand than you will know what to do with. We play 4 Dunsparce, 4 Dunsparce, maximize our efficiency there. And then the enriching energy is our A spec. And when you attach that onto a Dunsparce, it should only be attached onto a Dunsparce unless you absolutely have to do otherwise. Attach that baby onto a Dunsparce, you draw 4 cards, and then you shuffle Dunsparce back into the deck with its ability, and then you draw 3 more cards, and then the enriching energy is back in the deck. And if you have a Dunsparce down and you're like, oh no, I don't have a Dunsparce or an enriching energy, if you have a Hilda, then you're all good, because a Hilda goes and gets 1 evolution Pokemon and 1 energy. And so, of course, we play 3 Hildas in this deck to just up the likelihood that we can just, boom, the Dunsparce, enriching energy, draw 7 cards. 7 off of 1 Hilda if you have just a Dunsparce down on the board previously. So this draw engine is absolutely cracked. You will see during the gameplay, there are times where I have a hand of like 20 cards or something. It's wild. It's a little overwhelming, honestly. And since we're playing Dunsparce, we do have 1 Fan Rotom, so that if we have just Artisan out, or Buddy-Buddy Poffin, we can Buddy-Buddy for an Elgyem and a Fan Rotom, and then go get 3 of our Dunsparces, ideally, if we haven't prized any. And this ain't stall without Genesect, so you know we got the single prize Genesect, where if it has a tool attached, and we run 3 handheld fans, so good chance you'll be able to get a tool. If it has a tool attached, your opponent cannot use their ace spec card. This is just nasty, and if you can get it down early game especially, it's mean. And we got Munkidori to move some damage off. We do play Prism Energies, so you are able to Mind Bend with it as well and get a Confusion turn off if you have to just continue to try to stall. And we got a Shaymin to protect our bench from spread. So Hydreigon, Slowking's Curium, all that, we can stop that with Shaymin. Those are the Pokemon we're using in Sander Wojcik's control list. Other than that, this deck, you really just kind of have to figure it out as you're playing to some extent, or at least in terms of the specific matchups. You know, it's pretty obvious for Charizard, for Goldengo, we're playing Cornerstone. It's pretty obvious for Charizard and a couple other decks, we want to start Iron Thorns if we can. And then late game, we typically transition into either, if we think that our opponent is energy scarce, if they're running low on energies, we can focus on Elgyem, Handheld Fan, and Giovanni's Charisma, which I forgot to mention earlier, but is a supporter that is so nasty. It allows us to attach an energy from our hand to our active, and it makes your opponent take an energy from their Pokemon and put it back into your hand. Put it back into their hand, excuse me. So Giovanni's Charisma is another way that we can mess with their energies. And if you think that their energy's scarce, I would focus on that. Focus on the LGMs, the handheld fans, get the energies onto Pokemon that absolutely can't attack, and then you go into Sudowoodo late and you're just lock. Hopefully into a big chunky Pokemon that can't attack so that you can just continue to impound over and over and over again without knocking them out. We do have 2 accompanying flutes in this deck to try to get basic Pokemon on our opponent's bench that they don't want. So accompanying flute allows us to reveal the top 5 cards of our opponent's deck. And then if we find a basic Pokemon there, we can put it on their bench. So if they have a certain utility Pokemon, if they have Fezandipity, get it down. Yes, Fez can snipe for 100. But we can protect ourselves from Shaymin if we absolutely have to in that scenario, and we'd much rather move energies onto a Fezandipity than move energies onto an actual, like, attacker. So that is something to keep an eye out for. And yes, Air Balloon is very, very annoying. We do try to counter catcher to slow our opponents down quite a bit. Air Balloon is no bueno. But we need our handheld fans working, so we cannot play a jamming tower. So this deck plays a Ruffian, the supporter where we get to choose one of our opponent's Pokemon, discard a tool and a special energy. So that's really, really fun, especially if it's Dragapult and they have like a Luminous and a Sparkling Crystal. That'd be insane. You could just go boom, boom, and they're both gone. Or if it's Dragapult and it's Neo Upper, you can go boom, and then the Neo Upper energy is out of there. This deck also runs Lana's Aid for recovery. This just makes sense. It allows us to get a bunch of non-rulebox Pokemon back, and that is usually what we need end game, be it a Sudowoodo or an Elgyem or a Munkidori, or just get us a Dudunsparce or a Shaymin. Lana's Aid is so clutch. And since we're not taking any prize cards, we do run Redeemable Ticket in case we prize our Enriching Energy or multiple LGMs or whatever you need in that certain matchup. If you prize it, we have the Redeemable Ticket. It's not necessarily the easiest to get because we do not play an Arven, but if you do happen upon it and you need it, it's there, and it's the only way typically you're going to get your prize cards back, because again, most of the time, I know I break this rule later in the video, most of the time we're not attacking for damage or we're not taking prize cards with this deck. Another super fun part of this deck is Xerosic's Machinations. I love allowing my opponent to have a huge hand and then just putting down Xerosics and letting them decide which 3 cards they would like to keep. Absolutely adore that inclusion. And then obviously we do play 2 Pennies in here. This is a stall deck. What would we be without Penny? Penny allows us to just get one of our basic Pokemon and all cards attached to it up off the board. This is huge because we are trying to force our opponents to hit us with smaller damage numbers, so that we can eventually, after turns of them putting damage on us, penny it all away and make all of their progress for naught. It is awesome. If you're playing this in person, you get to see the light in your opponent's eyes die gradually. Super fun, highly recommended. Penny is so incredibly good for this deck. And we do have a lively stadium. I adore this inclusion, especially for the Dragapult matchup, because it makes our LGMs 90 HP. It puts them outside of just being able to Phantom Dive them on the bench. It also, I mean, it ups Cornerstone to 240. That's not bad. But mostly, I really like the lively stadium for the LGM. Just get it outside of Phantom Dive's range. Now this deck plays 10 different kinds of supporters, which is a lot, and many of them are only playing 1 or 2. And in many decks, I would be like, I really don't like that. But I love it because Sander also plays 3 Pal Pads. So essentially, you use the supporters you need to in that matchup, and then you're able to use it multiple times through his 3 Pal Pads, which is able to shuffle 2 supporters back from the discard pile into the deck. I really like this deck. I think if you were to practice with it a lot and really get to know this deck, you could take it to a locals, to a cup, to a regional, anywhere. I think this is a deck that can win against damn near every single deck in this meta if you play your cards right and if you know the deck really, really, really well. I would say on a scale of luck-based to skill-based, I'm putting this deck up here. Like, it is, you need to be very, 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 very good at this deck to win with it. But if you are that good with this deck, you can win against anything with it. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, this list comes to us thanks to Sander Wojcik, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, who placed 139th, went 5-3-0 at the World Championships this year. Let's take a look at how he did. Played Goldengo, beat them both times, makes sense, Cornerstone. Beat Grimmsnarl, beat Flareon, and then beat a Draga Noir player, Polt Noir player, then lost to Zardpolt, Polt Noir, and regular Dragapult. So it seems they weren't able to get enough energy switch on those Dragapult matchups. Then let's take a look. So this deck doesn't have a list yet in like the online decks. So we're going to take a look at King Heracross, a player that I've played with in tournaments before. Very, very talented player. They were running this list for a couple of tournaments, so let's just look at the matchups they had, which ones they won, which ones they lost. They took an L against Ethan's Typhlosion. Kind of makes sense, unfortunately. That is one of the matchups where you have to play the Pikachu Penny run and then keep loading up energies onto like a Victini or something, and then hopefully eventually it won't be able to be knocked out, and then all the energies will just be on one bad Pokemon. They lost against Pidgeot Control. That kind of makes sense. Not much we can do there because we're not messing with energies, or we're trying to mess with energies, and they don't really have many. And then they lost against Flareon here. And then in this tournament, they went undefeated, beating Blissey, another a Stevens Metagross, okay, Joltik Box, Raging Bolt, Poltzard, and Goldengo. King Heracross won this tournament with this list. So as you can see, you know, the matchups are varied, and I think this is one of those lists where the matchup percentage really isn't giving us a lot of information anyways, because of how high of a skill level it takes to actually run this deck correctly. I guarantee you, I have so many misplays today because this is such a complicated deck to run. And obviously, Sander is a highly, highly skilled control player. So I would say, if you play with this deck and you lose with it, or you can't quite find a way to win with it, don't be afraid, that's alright. This is an extremely high skill level deck that requires a lot of practice with this deck to get a good feel for it. Okay, let's take a quick look at the entirety of the deck list that we're going to be running today. As you can see, I already ran through all of the Pokemon we are running. We do have 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffins, trying to just maximize our ability to get Dunsparces down over and over and over again. We do run 1 Artisan as well to try to get our basics down. We have 1 Ultra Ball in case we cannot find a Hilda, but typically Hilda is going to be the way we get our evolution Pokemon. We have 1 boss, 2 Brock scouting to either, again, that can also get us a Dunsparce, or Dudunsparce. Either get us 1 Dudunsparce or 2 basics. We got 1 Colress Tenacity to go either grab us our Enriching Energy, grab us a Prism Energy, grab us a Psychic Energy, as well as either Lively Stadium or Artisan. We do have 1 Iono in here, 2 Pennies to make sure we can get our basics up off the board, ideally before they get knocked out, and 1 Xerosic Machinations, as well as our 3 handheld fans, 1 enriching, 3 prisms, and 2 psychic energies. And that was Sander Wojcik's list. This is a super, super fun control box deck. There's so much to this deck. Don't make fun of me too hard in the comments for how many times I misplay and how many times I just generally mess things up, because it's really hard. This is a really, really difficult deck, but I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into some gameplay. Alright, judging purely off what the opponent looks like, I think we're up against Charizard. Let's go second. I feel like going first or second is kind of fine here. If we could get Iron... Thorns out, that'd be sweet. Elgyem's also not the worst thing ever. Okay. Yep, there it is. Yay, old Zard. Alright, so we're going to be using Cornerstone and Iron Thorns in this matchup. A little bit of Elgyem and some handheld fans as well. Nice. Okay. So we'll be able to Colress's Tenacity. We can go ahead and get... We could get the Enriching Energy out and then just not use it until next turn. But that wouldn't feel great. Be nice if we could just top deck Iron Thorns or Nest Ball. Artisan's nice. I like that. Okay. They should probably get another Duskull down if they have it. Yeah. It's a good counter to us. Alright. Well, there's my own Artisan. Don't really need that. Yeah. Let's go ahead and prevent them from using their A-Spec. And then, instead of getting a Fan Rotom, we can just go get 2 Dunsparces. Alright, Ogerpon is in there. Iron Thorns is in there. Just couldn't wrangle them up. Brock Scoutings are in there. Enriching Energy is in there. 3 of our Prism, all 3 Prism Energies are in there. Alright. Doesn't seem like we should need a redeemable ticket, which is good. Undo that. We'll Prism onto Elgyem. Yep. Alright. Unfortunately, no Thorns, no Cornerstone, but whatever. That's alright, that's alright. Arvin. Means no Iono, so we're going to be able to Enriching Energy and Dudunsparce next turn, which is nice. Oh, is our Munkidori in there? I need to check that. See if our old Munkidori's in there. Because that's kind of very important in this deck list. I do think going second is probably the best move. Because if they do attach for turn, then you can Elgyem. If they don't, then hopefully you can find a way to get Iron Thorns or Ogerpon or whatever you need in the active. So yeah, Iron Thorns would be lovely to have right now. But once they get Charizard down, which I figure is probably gonna be right now, then we just need Cornerstone. That's all we need. Oh, okay. Going for the TM Evo play. Get like 1 Dusk, 1 million. That's my guess. 1 Dusk, 1 Charmeleon. Okay. Well, we can always move this onto the Dusclops. Ruffian, we do not need that. Enriching Energy. Okay, there's my Brock Scouting. Let's go, let's go. Okay, okay. I don't hate this. Let's see what else we can get here. Rocks for those 2. So they would need 2 Dusk Noirs to take out Ogerpon, right? Which I guess is technically possible. We'll do it. We have ways of recovery. Well, wait, do we? We have one way of recovery. So we have the Penny there if they try to get cute. I think we'll... Already attached. We'll slight shift just so they don't have the ability to get this energy off the Duskull so easily. Just so that if they want to retreat this guy, they're going to have to evolve him and then Cursed Blast or whatever. Just trying to do my part to get as many energies in the discard pile as possible. And we're kind of okay with them taking out an Elgyem if they want it. Yeah, this is such an interesting deck. There's so many layers to it, so many things we can do. I love the Sudowoodo in here. Everything's just so fun. We got the Ruffian to take care of like Neo Upper and Tools and Luminous Energy and Prism Energy. Elgyem can move them all around. It's just so fun. Sudowoodo can retreat lock. Cornerstone can't be hit by abilities, or Pokemon with abilities. Iron Thorns shuts down Rulebox prize card, or Rulebox abilities. I can't speak. Alright. Damn, there goes a Super Rod. That's big. That's pretty big. Okay. Here comes Charbazarb. Little Charby. 3 on Charizard, okay. Fair enough. They know that the energies are probably going to be moved around quite a bit. Trying to think of our best option here. Okay. We could Hilda for enriching energy to Dunsparce if we wanted to. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that. Give me some more cards. I need more cards. give me 7 more right now. God, that's such a fun mechanic. The enriching energy attached to the Dunsparce is just awesome. Can we get a fucking Buddy-Buddy Poffin, please? There we go. That'll work. 2 Dunsparces. That'll work. Hold off on that Ultra Ball usage. Let's see if we can flute something that they don't want down, like a Fez. Nope. Oh, okay. Maximum Belt is their ace spec anyways, so doesn't even really matter. Bring up Duskull. Okay. See, this is where attacking with Ogerpon wouldn't be the worst thing to try to take out Duskull or Dusclops, but I think a Giovanni's Charisma would be lovely, especially if they bring back up Charizard. Giovanni's Charisma, it has to be the active, yeah, okay. But that is just putting it back in their hands, so it's actually not the most valuable thing we can do here. That's really nice for, like, Dragapult to slow them down. There's a Dusknoir coming down. A Neo now. Alright. We're cool with that. I didn't have that much good stuff in my hand. Honestly, this is a much better hand overall. So did I prize my Munkidori? I did that in my practice round, too. That's crazy. Gotta be on Cornerstone, right? Yeah. Alright, can we find a Penny? Can we find our Penny? Come on, there's a handheld fan. Love to see it, love to see it. End your turn. End your turn. Buddy-Buddy. Do they have more Duskulls? Because that's going to be annoying. Nope. Alright, we're good. We're good. Okay. So we got one clean turn here to get a Penny off. Come on, baby. There's Hilda. Buddy-Buddy. Shuffle up the deck. We do have our Night Stretcher too, so it's not the end of the world if he gets knocked out. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Okay. Buddy-Buddy once more. Does anything have free retreat? No. Okay. Whatever. We could do an Elgyem attack this turn if we wanted to. I don't hate that, actually. Penny, so you just gave me a free prize card. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, in case they Iono us. Do I fan the Elgyem or fan the Cornerstone? Let's fan the Elgyem. Shift. Move it on to Duskull. Alright, cool. So now we're giving them the ability to retreat, but then if they do that, then I'm going to be able to move that energy off. Okay, there's a mist energy. Ah, there you go. That'll protect from Elgyem. I believe all effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So yeah. Now the handheld fan will still work, so we'll actually... Is it only basics? It's just energies, right? Yeah. Okay, so handheld fan, we can move that mist energy off, and then it'll work again. So, should be okay. That is an interesting inclusion for the Charizard. I don't hate it, especially with how much like TM devolution there is, you know. But, alright. What you got, Zard? What you got? This is, I feel like this video is just going to be like 2 really, really long games, if I had to guess. Because this deck just takes forever. We're not trying to win by taking knockouts, so inevitably this deck is just going to be so slow moving. And I don't want to make a mistake, and there's so many options, so it's also going to be slow moving. In the idea that, you know, it's tough to actually commit to the right move. 2 Zards. Not a Dusclops, not a Dusknoir, just 2 Zards. Okay. And they were not, or they haven't blown up Duskull yet by evolving it into a Clops, which I think would be the move, because right when they do this, I'm going to move that Mist energy right onto Duskull. So, we're kind of chilling, yeah. Please, Burning Darkness, be my guest. Mist energy gone. Now I can mess with you with Slight Shift again, if I need to. Okay, so that handheld fan attachment worked out very well in our favor. Ooh. Do we Giovanni's Charisma? That's kind of tempting. That's kind of tempting. Yeah, let's do that here. Let's do that here. Put that in their hand. Toss a Prism right there. And then... Counter catch up him. Alright, I'm cool with that. And then we can Hilda for enriching energy to Dunsparce next turn. And then we have retreat off Ogerpon if we need it. There's the attachment back. There's the discard of the mist energy. Just partially what I really wanted to get done. I'll Pidgeot for a boss's orders, probably take out a Dunsparce. Yeah, I'm like, okay, do they have... They discarded one of their Super Rods. If they don't have another Super Rod, they might be fucked. Because the only way they can take out Ogerpon is through Dusknoir. Or by hitting us really slowly with Charmander. But I think by that point I'd be able to get a Demolish out. They can hit us for 50 with Chi-Yu. They can do that. They can do that. And they can also use Flarebringer to bring some energies back. That's a bit annoying. Yep, boss up Dunsparce. Yeah, like that. They don't need to take out Genesect. So that's one prize card. Right now there are exactly 4 prize cards on the board for him. We are going to take one of those away by evolving into Dudunsparce. That's okay. Well, there is the enriching energy. Cool. Get another prism out. Go ahead and enrich my life, baby. Come on. Yes, sir. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. I think they got enough bosses, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and just get these guys out of our hand. Well, they've only used one Iono, so they probably have another Iono. Am I okay giving them this to Dunsparce, essentially? Nah, we'll run away draw. Okay. I feel pretty good at this point. Let's bring up Duskull. We do have Hilda in hand. Do we put Dunsparce down? Yes. Let's put Dunsparce down. If they want to boss KO it, they can. We can give them 2 more prize cards. I'm pretty confident they're not going to be able to Chi-Yu me multiple times. And I'm 100% confident that before we knock out any of these other Pokemon, we will boss up Chi-Yu and knock it out. So, here comes another Charizard. How many energies do they have left in deck? 3 in the discard, 2 on one Charizard. Yeah, they only got 1 out. Oh baby. So they need Super Rod really badly. Cool. Alright, then yeah, that counter catcher was more than worth it to make them go do that. Use up that Charizard. Now they're gonna go get a boss and retreat and take out my Dunsparce. And that's okay. That's just fine. That is just fine. I'll probably just Xerosic next turn. Retreat, Charizard. Did they mean to do that? There's no way they meant to do that, right? Are they about to concede? There's no way they meant to do that. Yeah, I was like, look, I think we had that game, but yeah, they fucked up pretty bad there at the end, and that's game 1. That was a 20-minute long game 1 against a deck that we are very favored into. Charizard is a walk in the park for this deck. Let's get on to game 2 and potentially the final game of the video. We'll see how long it takes. Okay, let's get this thing off to the races. We'll throw these boys down. Then we'll be able to buddy-buddy for a couple... Ooh, another Zard? Oh, well, if I'm not the luckiest little goose. Okay, well, that's going to be kind of boring, but... Fuck it, I guess we're playing another Zard. This one might not even have Dusk Noir. I didn't see any Dusk stuff, right? No Dusk stuff in 3 mulligans would indicate that it might not be a Dusk Zard. That's what I was trying to say. Alright. There's a monkey. I don't care about the monkey. Go ahead and just get all 4 Dunsparces down. Pretty easy for us there. Let's accompanying flute, see if we can get like a Fez. No, okay, it's fine. It's fine, I didn't really want it that badly. And they play max belt, so we don't need to put Genesect down. We saw that in one of their mollies. Yeah, they play maximum belt, so we don't care if they play. We do not care if they put that down. Best they can do is confuse, and I'm not gonna attack them, so we're chilling. We just need to get Cornerstone down. That's all. We can Elgyem that energy over to Charmander too. Try to keep their Luminuses off of the Munkidoris. Damn, they had their Fez in their hand. Shit. Lucky bastards. That's what I wanted to get down on the bench. End of turn? Alright, that's not that great of a turn. Hey, Brock Scouting's huge. I feel like we gotta get the Dunsparce. Like, we need Charizard at some point, but I feel like the Dunsparce just makes sense. Alright. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Boop. Just in case we need to attack with it, we'll attach. Slight shift. We'll move this right there. Or here. Here, or here, or here, or here, or here. This is, we're letting them attack us if we, well, yeah, we'll do that, we'll do that. We can always move it around as well. Or we can Ruffian it away. I like having Ruffian. I'm not sure why we don't have an Enhanced Hammer also, but I like having Ruffian. I feel like Enhanced Hammer could be a fun inclusion. Because then it's just like, well, boom, it's an item. You don't need to do much else. It's pretty easy. Alright. Well, Charizard is already out. Now is he going to go 2 on Charizard? 2 on Charizard, 1 on Monkey? Okay. Interesting, interesting. Can't blame him too much, though. And just start hitting into Elgyem. Bam! I love that art on the Elgyem. It's just so fun. Alright, do that. Enriching energy, okay, okay. Let's Giovanni's Charisma. Do that, do that. We have multiple counter catchers. We'll bring up Monkey. End our turn. I'm not wasting the enriching energy on an Ogerpon. We need that enriching energy for our Dunsparces. If we put it on the Ogerpon, then we're screwed. So, as nice as that is to have in the hand, we cannot use it right now. Let's see what they got. Thank God we got Ogerpon out. Now we're just chilling. There's Brock Scouting. Go get like a Pidgeot or a Pidgeotto. Or maybe more basics? I don't know. Probably a Pidgeotto, unless they have rare candy, and then Pidgeot. Kind of bummed. I would have preferred an Iono, honestly. I have Counter Catcher, but that's it. That is it. It's the only good card. I mean, Enriching Energy is great once we get it a Dunsparce, but until we get it a Dunsparce, we're kind of screwed. Okay, a little Budu action. Fair enough, fair enough. Then we might have to use Enriching Energy to just knock out Budu. Fuck, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And a hard retreat. Do it. Do it. Thankfully, they're only hitting 20 at a time. And I believe that is, like, literally their only attacker other than Charmander that can hit me, unless they play the non-Flare Veil Charmeleon. But I feel like that's not the right Charmeleon that you should be using with so much Dragapult in the meta. So it's tough. It's tough. Okay, there's Charmander. Oh, is he just going to Team Evo here? Okay, cool. Do we knock out a Munkidori? It's like it's not often that you ever want to take a knockout with this deck, but I feel like this might be the time. And then we're set up to knock out Budu if he tries me with Budu. Ooh. Or he hits for 90, he hits for 20. Or we Enriching Energy, Gust Up Charmeleon. Give me another energy. Fuck. Yes please. We'll get Tatsu down for you. Alright, well this is gonna suck. I didn't want to do it, people. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Of course there's a fucking Prism Energy. God damn it. I don't usually attack with this deck. I know you're not really supposed to. But we're gonna. We are gonna. Alright. Take out Charmeleon. And then yeah, hopefully we can, if they want to Budu us, we can just take him out as well. We do have Penny also, so we can let this Cornerstone get pretty low and then Penny it. Okay, or not. I am fine with that though. I needed a new hand badly. Finally, there we go. Man, I wish I could Hilda for an Enriching Energy. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. So annoying. I just needed one other energy and then we were good. Cause I like how you have the option to attack. So I'm just taking out everything that could hit into my Ogerpon, and I think that's a good idea. We're wasting a Super Rod here. We love to. We're not wasting, but using one of their Super Rods here. They got Fez back? Wow. Huh, okay. Like, I don't usually knock out Pokemon. I guess I'll probably knock out Budu here, so fair enough. That. Draw some cards. Nice. Okay. Cool. Now if we wanted to, we could knock them out with Fan Rotom. I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's just take out Budu. Again, I know this is a stall deck. I know we're not really supposed to be knocking out Pokemon, but I'm going to knock out the Pokemon that are a threat to me. And my one Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. There's Tatsu. Like, I did just give them a Tatsugiri, but I'm also giving myself something to move energies off to, where I don't feel bad about it later on. Every energy, once people start attack, if they ever attack this guy, is going to go on to the Tatsugiri. Alright. We got a Hilda for next turn. We have a counter catcher. I was like, if he manages to boss up one of these boys, I guess they could just prime cat, or not prime, but counter catcher up one of these boys now. It's alright. We're fine with that. Okay. I love handheld fans, man. I was like, it is just whenever it's damaged, right? Not just knocked out. It's so nasty. I love energy manipulation. Like, energy manipulating with Great Tusk was, I mean, milling is also really fun. But energy manipulation was my second favorite bit of it, using handheld fan and crushing hammers, enhanced hammer, and all that fun stuff. It's so fun. Such a good time. Alright. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Finally, I'll get a Pidgeot down. Finally. Or maybe are they going to get a Charmander down? Either or. Either or. They have the air balloon, so if they can manage, if they can wrangle up a counter catcher, they'll be able to take out a Dunsparce this turn. Like, this game we genuinely might be able to win by prize cards. Like, we might be able to win it by prize cards. They're going to get a Charmander down. Okay. So now if we can wrangle up a boss, our one boss would be huge. But we'd have to top deck it. Or I guess we could Ultra Ball away some stuff to go get a Dudunsparce. Okay. Finally, attracting customers. Could also Iono. Put whatever they get. Oh, they didn't get anything. Never mind. What'd they get off the Ultra Ball? Oh yeah, the freaking Charmander, not even a Pidgeot. What are they gonna do here? That is their turn, okay. Honestly, do we knock out a Tatsugiri here? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We have all of our energies. They're either on the board in our hand or in our discard pile. I guess we could have Ultra Balled first for that, but whatever. Whatever, it's fine. Do we put out Pikachu as bait? That'd be kind of funny, but then if we get Iono'd, it's not so funny. I'm cool putting Pikachu out as bait. Let's see if they fall for it. We'll also attach. We'll really pretend like we're about to Prism Energy 3 times onto this motherfucker. Which we can't even. One of the prisms is on the Cornerstone, but they don't know that. They don't know that. There's a Pal Pad. What do you got, buddy boy? I think we really will just take the win by prize cards here. Which is a little risky because it makes us more vulnerable to Iono, but we're just feeling good right now. We're feeling good. I'm fine retreating into Pikachu if I have to. I'm okay with that. You gonna poison me? Yeah. You gonna oh! Okay, yeah, I was like, I think the effect still goes there, yeah. That's fine. Oh, we got our other Penny. Oh, okay, yeah. Here's what we do. We retreat. Get rid of the one that we can get back. Push up Pikachu. We're gonna spring our trap a little early, unfortunately. But we will Penny up Pikachu. Pal Pad the Penny back. We'll do Penny and Brock. Yeah, Penny and Brock. No need for charisma at this point. Okay. Bye-bye Munkidori. And there goes probably their other Luminous Energy. Bro, we're killing them just with Cornerstone. And there's a Ruffian, so we can take out the other Luminous Energy if we want to. Charmander's coming up. Not really sure why. I feel like Pidgeotto would have been in a better mood because it has free retreat. Are they just giving us the win? Because I appreciate that. Go ahead and Ruffian. Might as well, right? Take him out, and then we just wait for our boss to take out Pidgeotto. Or 3-hit KO Charizard, I guess. There's a Stretcher. I'm just gonna push Pidgeotto. No, they're not just gonna give this one to me. Okay. Fair. Probably should have Ultra Balled away some stuff to get a Dunsparce there. That was silly. Now if we get Iono'd, we're just totally. I mean, we're still attacking, so it's not the end of the world, but we will have no way of getting more cards unless we get another Dunsparce. They may have just went AFK because they were upset. Yeah, I think they may have just went AFK because of what we were doing to them. Yeah, there's high potential. Do that. Go get him. We're not gonna pop it. We're just gonna put it down. Get Monkey. Like if we Xerosic, they're never gonna. It's gonna take forever. We'll just demolish and end our turn. Wait for a boss, or wait until they get kicked off for not making a move in time. Because I'm pretty sure, they gave up after I did the retreat into Pikachu Penny play. So I think this game is completely over. Let's get one more in. This is going to be a really long video, but I don't want it to just be 2 Charizard games, although those were great, and we played really well into it, but it's a good matchup for us. Let's see if we can get like a Dragapult or something else for one final matchup. Eventually, the app will call it. Okay, maybe they are still here, and they're just conceding in time. Okay. Let's dig for our boss here. Okay, there's something that we can at least look through the deck with. See if it's in here, see if it's our last prize card, you know. Alright, it's in there. Come on, baby. Come on. Damn it. Shucks. Okay. We will just Brock Scouting. Get more Dunsparces down. We'll find that fucker one of these days. We will. I swear. Brain. I don't think it really matters. Still just waiting. Alright, one more hit after this anyways. And then we'll be done with it. Charizard. But anyways, yeah, if we can get like one Dragapult matchup, that'd be sick. A Goldango would even work. Guardy would be annoying. Guardy would be really annoying. I don't think this deck plays super well into Guardy. Did Sander play into Guardy at all? No, okay. Did not. He beat Goldango, beat Flareon, lost to Dragapult, beat Grimmsnarl, beat Goldango, lost to Dragapult Dusknoir, lost to Charizard Dragapult, and then beat Dragapult Dusknoir. I'm sure I've already told that to you in this video, but I film these gameplay sections first, so I was kind of just checking for myself, see who y'all played. No Gardevoirs. I feel like Gardevoir would be a pretty bad matchup. There's just not a ton we can do other than Ethan's Sudowoodo. But then they could potentially... Well, you'd have to Ethan Sudowoodo a non-psychic. Because what they could do is Gardevoir until... use the ability until the Pokemon's almost knocked out. And then, it will... I don't know what I'm trying to say. My brain is fried. You know what I mean. Anyways, Guardy's a bad matchup. Oh, that's right. They put the damage on it until it's about to get knocked out, and then you would Ethan Sudowoodo, and then you would knock it out, and then they could attack you. So that would be their way around that. Alright. Finally, we are done with this match. Let's get one more in. Again, I'm sorry, this video is going to take absolutely forever. But that's a rare instance where a stall deck just could come out on the offensive and take a bunch of prize cards and win that way. So, it's fun to shake it up sometimes. Let's pray that we run into a Goldango or a Dragapult or something next time. One more game. One more. Okay. We lost the coin toss, and they are going to go first. Nice. God, I love starting with just Iron Thorns. Bet you didn't think you'd see a frickin' Iron Thorns in this day and age, did ya, Electric Miraidon? Why? This is the second one I've seen today, just during practice. Why are there so many Electrics out? This is a bad deck. It's a bad deck. It's not good. It just isn't. Do we play this just as an Iron Thorns deck then? I'm kind of tempted. We would need to get some energies out. But I mean, the second I put another Pokemon down, they're just going to boss it up. And then they're going to be able to use their ability. I don't really want them to be able to do that. Okay. We're in an odd spot here. Can't find an energy. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. They probably can find an energy. Who the hell is playing Electric right now? This deck is trash, bro. This deck is so bad. Joltik is much better, and I hate that deck. But Joltik is just much, much better. So they could retreat into him, put the air balloon on, Dynamotor. Damn. Yeah, they could, and then also Electric Generator. Potential. Wow. Damn. Okay, there was Prime Catcher and Super Rod. Hands is coming down. Generators being used on hands. Huh. And that is their turn. Okay. Can't really Xerosic here. Alright, now that they've gotten a hands down. Do that. Still can't find a mother-loving energy. We're just getting cursed with the deck, with the hands here. Cursed by hands, cursed with bad hands, all of the above. You know how it goes. Nest Ball for a Wattrel. Okay. And pass turn. Jesus. And I cannot do anything either. Pass turn. Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Dude, what is happening? And then they pass their turn. Oh my god. We get an Elgyem in hand. That doesn't help us at all. We still have not drawn an energy at all. Or a Hilda, or a Colress, or an Iono, or anything. Anything. I'm glad that they got rid of their Prime Catcher. That makes me very happy. A Pal Pad? Really? Dude. A Pal Pad? I've not been able to use a fucking supporter. I haven't been able to do anything. Literally jack shit. Jack all. Nothing. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Something we can use and do. Okay. Multiple Dudunsparces. Runaway draw. Runaway draw. Got another Hilda. Okay. Buddy-Buddy. Now we just have the one in there. Do that. Okay, now we're feeling much better. Now we're feeling much better about what we got here. So we know they have an air balloon in hand. We know that. We know that. Giovanni's Charisma would be really nice. That's all I'm saying. Finally, they have a Kilowattrel. Finally. They do not have any energies in the discard pile. They can change that if they just retreat with Miraidon. And they can just retreat into Tynamo, which has free retreat. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. They could have done this earlier, too, where they could have retreated into Electric. Okay, they're just not going to do anything. Whatever. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Do we start powering up Iron Thorns? I may as well. I'm feeling pretty good here with what we got going on. Colress doesn't do us much. It's Brock's scouting. Ooh, we could eventually trap a Sudowoodo, or trap something with a Sudowoodo. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. We'll just get that out. Get that down. Now let's Pal Pad these guys back. We have 3 of them. Might as well. And if we can find a Giovanni's Charisma, that would be so big. Push that energy back into their hand and allow me to attach. That'd be nice. We would need another energy on top of this Psychic, but still. Okay, there's Zekrom coming down. Zeki Wom Wom, you know, as it's formally known. Hilda, Dunsparce enriching. Do we actually attach the enriching energy? No, we'll hold on to it. Okay. They already got rid of their Prime Catcher, right? Yeah. We'll get rid of him. Ruffian we can use to discard the air balloon. We'll do him and him. Go do that. for turn, or do we attach down here? I think we attach down here. Okay. There's the charisma. Sweet. Nice. Still don't have, you know, another energy, but whatever. Okie dokie. Wonder, we need to do a pretty thorough deck check here in a second. If we do redeemable, we're gonna need enriching energy in our hand to make sure that we're not giving that up. Right, they're finally gonna be able to use Kilowattrel's ability and pair it up with electric to just continuously draw cards. They're using the air balloon on Miraidon. Okay, okay. Flashing draw. Already used one electric generator. Used one electric generator. Dynamotor onto hands. So next turn might be the one where we Sudowoodo, potentially. Start locking up Kilowattrel, probably. So we get 2 or 1. I got 2. Alright. Then we'll probably lock up electric. We can hold off on Ruffian because we're not going to be locking Miraidon. Well, I guess retreat lock doesn't matter with that. We have a bunch of counter catchers. We're really just waiting for them to take a prize card. At this point, I don't need Iron Thorns on this board either. We can penny that up eventually. What do you got here, buddy? What do you got? They end their turn. And then we draw the enriching energy. They end their turn. We'll hold off on the Ruffian. Kind of like the Xerosics here. Kind of like the Xerosics play. Discard, discard, discard. Get 3 cards out of their hand. We'll hold on to the Pal Pad after this. Okay. We'll go... Boom. And end our turn. And then we'll be able to attack next turn with it if we need to. If we need to. Alright. Yeah, this video is going to be like an hour and a half long at least, so I appreciate y'all for... If anybody's watching still, appreciate y'all. You guys are crazy. Because this is just going to be an hour and a half of just pure stalling. Just stall, 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 and then a little bit more stall. You're attaching to Miraidon. Okay, okay. I don't know what they're doing. They're taking their sweet time, though. They're taking their sweet, mother-loving time. Dynamotor onto Kilowattrel. Yep. How much does Kilowattrel hit for? 70? Okay, cool. He hits for 50? Okay, cool. Iono? Alright, whatever. That's fine. Looky there, looky there! That's everything we needed. That's a cool electric. I don't know if I've even seen the IR. But I like that. I like that. Nice. Okay. What else you got, bud? Choosing a new Pokemon. Alright, they're finally gonna start hitting into us with an Iron Hands. Arm press. Alright. Let's see. Do we put it all on Miraidon? Yeah, let's put it all on Miraidon. There's already a bunch there. See if we can find our Penny, which was not in our hand, and we're going to have 9 chances to look for it. Come on, baby. We need a Penny. We'll hold off on the Nest Ball. Because we had so many cards in hand, and none of them were a Penny. So I'm like... Come on, dude. Come on, please. No. No Penny. No Penny. Okay. Okay. Upsetting, but fine. Whatever. We'll boss up the pretty boy then. And I don't really want to knock it out, because then they'll just push hands back in. Okay, let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. So another air balloon would be nice for them, and it would allow them to take some prize cards. But then I could just Ruffian. Ooh, whoa, okay, sweet. So we just made... Wait, why didn't they attach for turn? I guess they probably have enough energies in deck that they're chilling. Oh, and they can electric onto Iron Hands, yeah. Never mind. Never mind. So yeah, they're just looking for another air balloon. But then the second they get it, we can Ruffian it away. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Dynamotor to the hands. Boom. Dynamotor to the Zekrom, I'm guessing. Because I don't think they'll have the foresight to start putting energies on Electric or Kilowattrel, which is what they should be doing. But I'm guessing they'll go on to Zekrom. Yep. It's too easy, people. It's too easy. These Miraidon folk are simple. Like, all I'm saying is if he were to attach to Kilowattrel or Electric, they have a better shot at doing more stuff next turn with it. Okay. Now we go searching once more for a Penny that may or may not exist. I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. In fact, we could knock out Electric if we wanted to. We could. We could. We'll Pal Pad back. Boss and Xerosic. And then we'd be able to move the Mist Energy onto Sudowoodo too. But then if they have a boss, they just boss up Sudowoodo. But they haven't been bossing yet. I'm wondering if Prime Catcher is like their main form of Gust. We'll hold off. We'll hold off. I'm not gonna attack at all this game. Not gonna attack at all. Okay. Let them attach retreat, take 3 prize cards, I don't care. Ah, fuck, that's what I would rather than not do, but whatever. Okay, we got plenty of options to get out of it. So again, if they're smart, they'll attach, and then they'll Electric onto Iron Hands, and probably an Electric. Or Kilowattrel. But we'll see. We'll see. They're going to Electric Generator. They have 11 cards left in their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now 12 energies down on board. 1 in the discard pile. One has to assume they're running low. Typically, yeah, this deck has, what, 14 to 16 energies in there. With the Electric, I could see them running 15 or 16, for sure. So they did not attach extra onto the Iron Hands, and they did not even use their electrics. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Okay. So now we could play Elgyem if we wanted to. We could. They're going to draw 3 prize cards, get a 9 total hand size, 9 card hand size. And then we're going to be able to do Dunsparce. Just find Sudowoodo instantly, apparently. Okay, sick, sick. Runaway draw first. Sudowoodo needs fighting, right? Yeah, it does. It does. Okay. Runaway draw once more. Okay. What can we do? Our pennies are in here, right? One of them is. One of them is. Would Xerosic hurt them more? Than an Iono. Because Iono would give me the shot to get a counter catcher and the energy I need. But Xerosic takes a bunch of cards out of their hand. Fuck. Little Xerosic. As much as I want an Iono, and as much as I want a Brock Scouting also, we gotta get their hand much further down. Why can't I talk right now? I do think we'll probably attach and retreat into Sudowoodo. Or into a Dunsparce. What are they gonna get rid of? Okay. Okay. Not bad, not bad. We'll give him a Dunsparce. We'll give him a Dunsparce. I'd rather him take that than Sudowoodo. Ah, that's a bummer, man. That is a bummer. They might not have any energies, though. There's always a chance that they don't have any energies. I put one on Kilowattrel, the other on Zekrom is my guess. Can they not get rid of any other cards in their hand? Are they just going to have to flash and draw from there? Another Dynamotor onto Zekrom. Yep. I can read their mind, bro. It's too easy. It's too easy. They're not putting it onto the ones that matter. The Electric and the Kilowattrel. Do they have another energy? Is the big question now. Nope. Just a switch. Let's go. No boss, hopefully. Oh shit, flashing draw. Why didn't they do that first? I guess it was just to get the card out of their hand, but no boss? Is this a deck that only runs counter catchers and prime catchers? I wonder. Or maybe just the one prime catcher? Seems odd. Nah, there's the boss, yeah. Of course. Of course, of course. Okay. Well, we'll have to work around it. Move the energy onto Zekrom. I think we just go straight in to Iono. Straight into Iono. Alright. Do we Pal Pad anything? No. We're good for now. Give me 6, give them 2. There it is. Finally. Runaway draw. Okay. We'll push Elgyem. Knock that. Go get another Dunsparce. And bring me your electric. Alright. Then we can Colress and move an energy off of Iron Hands. I'm sure they're going to move some energies onto it, but Dynamotor, gotta put one on Kilowattrel and one on Iron Hands. Probably, right? Or are they gonna flashing draw first? Flashing draw first. Oh, and then they just needed the air balloon. Yep. And that is game. We came close. I think if we literally had just gotten Sudowoodo off, we would have won no matter what. So, it's a little upsetting. It's a little upsetting, but I'm not playing another game of this. This has taken so goddamn long. So, unfortunately, we are going to take the L here. They got their Iron Hands out and used it multiple times, but I'm happy with what we did there. I think, yeah, if we had just gotten a fighting energy, we would have won. So maybe if I'd been more careful with the Prism earlier, I don't know, probably a lot of mistakes that I had made, but anyways, let's toss it back over to the other tie. And that was Sander Wojcik's energy manipulating stall control box deck that has just a little bit of everything in it. I think this is one of the more high skill required decks that I've seen in quite some time. But again, I think there is so much potential with this deck if you really get to know it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're still watching after what's going to end up being well over an hour and a half of stall video, I appreciate the absolute hell out of you guys. Y'all are absolutely awesome. And let me know down in the comments what you think of Sander Wojcik's stall deck. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. If you really want to support the channel, you can become a channel member for as little as $2 a month. Get videos early, get access to extra emotes and chat, all of this fun stuff. Go check it out, see if that would be something that's intriguing to you. And a huge shout out to our current channel members: Wes Reacts, Plus Ultra G, Justin G, Chef Husky, Dominicis, Chase2496, and huge shout out to Chase2496 for gifting a membership to Alejandro Vasquez. So you are a Totodile Gang grunt for the month. Welcome in, my friend. Thank you guys so much for contributing, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all later, and I love you guys so much, and I hope you win a tournament this weekend. Mwah. See ya.